Hello, English speakers. Welcome to SNS. I am Martin, your English practicing partner. If you're here, I know that you already understand English. You know the language. But whenever someone speaks to you in English, you may find yourself translating each word from your mother tongue into English, carefully arranging it according to grammar. But my friend, that is not the perfect way to speak English. To speak fluently, it's not necessary to memorize endless grammar rules. You are here because you found the perfect solution. Today, we're going to shadow an interesting story. Don't be afraid. You don't need to memorize grammar rules, learn long vocabulary lists, or write anything down on paper. All you need to do is listen to Sir Native Speaker, repeat after me, and try to copy the rhythm and tone. In this way, you will train not only your tongue, but also your ears and mind to think like an English speaker. And soon, you will notice a real change in your English. If you find any word difficult, there's no need to search on Google. I will give you the meaning, its usage, and even a simpler alternative that you can use in daily conversation. So watch the full video. And if you have a story in mind for the next practice, share it in the comments. Your suggestion will be truly valued. This story is all about courage, determination, and the importance of staying steadfast, even when life becomes challenging. It reminds us that true strength doesn't come from never falling, but from rising every time we do. Through its characters, the story beautifully highlights the power of genuine friendship, how real friends stand by each other in moments of struggle and uncertainty. It also teaches us how to stay calm and focused when facing stress or hardship, showing that patience, consistency, and faith can turn even the hardest times into lessons of growth and resilience. As Thomas Edison once said, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Keep practicing and don't forgive up to achieve your goal of learning English. So stay focused, grab a cup of tea, and let's start. Long ago, in the darkest corner of the world, a sly goblin, meaner than a junkyard dog, dreamed up a wicked trick. He built a cursed mirror that turned everything upside down. Beauty looked ugly, kindness looked weak, and wickedness seemed wonderful. The goblin and his gang carried it across the land, laughing like cats that got the cream, as neighbors quarreled and joy soured. Not satisfied, he boasted, "Let's carry it to heaven itself and mock God and his angels." But pride comes before a fall. As they climbed higher, the mirror shook, slipped, and shattered into countless shards. The sharp splinters rained down like cursed snow, some so tiny they slid into people's eyes, making them see only faults. Others pierced their hearts, turning them cold as stone. From that day forward, the world was never quite the same. In a lively city lived two children, Gerda and Kai, as close as two peas in a pod. Gerda, gentle as a lamb, had golden hair, while Kai, sharp as a tack, brimmed with life. Their attic homes stood side by side, with roses blooming between them like a bridge of friendship. Life was sweet until one winter's night. As snow drifted down, Kai spotted the Snow Queen, beautiful yet cold as ice. Though she didn't touch him, Her gaze planted frost in his heart. The very next day, a shard of the goblin's mirror pierced his eye and heart. The change was instant. His warm spirit turned bitter. His love for Gerda and the roses soured. He mocked what he once cherished, and the world became to him nothing but flaws and faults. Kai, now colder than a December night, was drawn to the sharp beauty of snowflakes. One day, while sledding, a grand white sleigh appeared, gliding like a ghost. Inside sat the Snow Queen, wrapped in furs white as driven snow. She beckoned him, and Kai, dazzled, hitched his sled without a second thought. Off they flew, swift as the wind. The first kiss she gave numbed him to the cold. The second wiped away every memory of Gerda and their roses. His past vanished like smoke on the breeze. The Snow Queen whisked him to her far-off ice palace, a glittering fortress that was beautiful but empty as a drum. There, in silence and frost, Kai's heart turned into a solid block of ice. Captivated by cold perfection, he no longer longed for home, nor for the warmth of friendship. His fate seemed sealed, frozen in time at the Queen's side. Gerda, broken-hearted yet stubborn as a mule, refused to believe Kai was gone forever. She set out, come rain or shine, to find him. Her path first led to a lonely sorceress who, with a wave of her hand, made Gerda forget her quest. For a while, Gerda lived in a garden of eternal summer, happy as a clam, blind to the world beyond. But fate has a way of knocking at the door. One day, she saw a rose on the sorceress's hat, and it sparked her memory. Tears spilled from her eyes, hot as fire, falling to the ground and reviving a hidden rosebush. It whispered the truth. Kai was alive. In a heartbeat, the spell broke. With her heart once more burning with love, Gerda ran from the enchanted garden, ready to brave the wide, cold world to bring her friend back home. Gerda's search took her to a castle where a clever crow believed the new prince might be Kai. But close, no cigar, it wasn't him. The kind prince and princess, touched by her story, gifted her a golden carriage, shining bright as the sun, to aid her journey. Yet fortune is a double-edged sword. The glittering carriage drew robbers like moths to a flame. Ambushed, Gerda was captured. But luck sometimes wears a crooked smile. The robber chief's wild daughter, fierce as a hawk, took a liking to Gerda. When her pet doves whispered that they'd seen Kai traveling north with the Snow Queen, the girl's heart softened. "Love like yours deserves a chance," she said. She freed Gerda and, with surprising kindness, handed her a sturdy reindeer named Bay. "He'll take you farther than I ever could. Godspeed, little dreamer." With that, Gerda pressed on, hope burning brighter than before. Across bleak snows and biting winds, they carried Gerda to a wise Lapp woman who gave her food and pointed her farther north. "Seek the Finn woman," she said. "Her wisdom runs deeper." And so they went, until at last they reached the Finn woman's humble home. She studied Gerda with eyes sharp as needles and declared, "Child, no spell can save your friend. Your greatest power lies in your own heart. Innocence and love, those are your weapons." The words hit like a spark in the dark. Gerda realized she had no need for magic charms. As the saying goes, love will find a way. With that strength, she set out again, carrying nothing but faith, courage, and the warmth of her love for Kai. They trotted on, faster than the north wind, carrying her toward the icy fortress of the Snow Queen. At last, Gerda reached the Snow Queen's palace, glittering like diamonds, yet cold and hollow as an empty drum. Snowflake guards swirled around her, sharp and fierce, but Gerda prayed with all her might. Her words rose like fire in winter, and suddenly angels appeared, scattering the icy soldiers like leaves in a storm. Inside the palace, Kai sat pale and still, trying in vain to piece together the word eternity from shards of ice. Gerda ran to him, and her tears, hot as molten gold, fell on his chest, melting the frozen block around his heart. He too began to weep, his tears washing away the shard from his eye. In 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, he knew her again. Their joy was so strong that the ice fragments danced into place, forming the word eternity, completing the queen's impossible task. Love had broken the spell. Hand in hand, Gerda and Kai began the long road back. Step by step, they retraced their path, meeting again the friends who had helped along the way. Their journey was tough, but with hearts light as feathers, it felt easier than before. At last, they reached home. The roses bloomed brighter than ever, and though the children had grown, their grandmother was unchanged, smiling as though no time had passed. The 2 friends looked at each other and realized they had crossed mountains of ice and rivers of sorrow, yet love had carried them through. As the saying goes, home is where the heart is. And so the story ends with a simple truth. Love can melt even the hardest heart, and no winter lasts forever. And now it's time to look at some of the difficult words from the story. I'll explain their meanings, give you simple alternatives, and show you how to use them in sentences. Number 1. Ambushed, meaning attacked suddenly and unexpectedly. Example: the robbers ambushed Gerda's golden carriage. Alternative: attacked. Number 2. Captured, meaning taken as a prisoner. Example: Gerda was captured by the robbers. Alternative: caught. Number 3. Fierce, meaning showing strong and violent energy. Example: the robber girl looked fierce as a hawk. Alternative: wild. Number 4. Whispered, meaning spoke very softly. Example: the doves whispered to Gerda about Kai. Alternative: murmured. Number 5. Wisdom, meaning deep knowledge gained from experience. Example: the Finn woman's wisdom guided Gerda. Alternative: knowledge. Number 6. Innocence, meaning purity, being without guilt. Example: Gerda's innocence was her strongest weapon. Alternative: purity. Number 7. Weapons, meaning tools used for fighting. Example: the woman told Gerda that love and innocence were her weapons. Alternative: tools. Number 8. Meaning a very strong and safe building. Example: Kai was trapped inside the Snow Queen's icy fortress. Alternative: stronghold. Number 9. Glittering, meaning shining brightly with reflected light. Example: the Snow Queen's palace was glittering like diamonds. Alternative: shining. Number 10. Hollow, meaning empty inside. Example: the palace looked grand, but felt hollow and cold. Alternative: empty. Alt. Number 11. Scattered, meaning spread out in different directions. Example: the angels scattered the icy guards. Alternative: spread. Number 12. Molten, meaning melted by heat. Example: Gerda's molten tears thawed Kai's frozen heart. Alternative: melted. Number 13. Shard, meaning a sharp broken piece of something. Example: a shard of ice was stuck in Kai's eye. Alternative: piece. Number 14. Eternity, meaning endless time, forever. Kai tried to form the word eternity from ice. Alternative: forever. Number 15. Crossed, meaning went across or traveled through. Example, they crossed mountains of ice to return home. Alternative, past. Number 16, bloomed, when flowers open and grow. Example, the roses bloomed brighter than ever. Alternative, grew. Number 17, retraced, meaning went back along the same path. Example, they retraced their steps toward home. Number 18, journey, meaning a long trip or travel. Example, their journey was tough, but full of hope. Alternative, trip. Number 19, touched, meaning moved emotionally. Example, the prince and princess were touched by Gerda's story. Alternative, moved. Number 20, crooked, meaning not straight, sometimes dishonest. Example, luck sometimes wears a crooked smile. Alternative, twisted. Number 21, clutched, meaning held tightly. Example, Gerda clutched Bay's reins as they sped north. Alternative, gripped. Number 22, humble, meaning simple, not proud. Example, the Finn woman lived in a humble home. Alternative, simple. Number 23, fortress-like, meaning resembling a fortress, very strong and protected. Example, the icy palace was fortress-like, impossible to break into. Alternative, strong. Number 24, swirled, meaning moved in circles quickly. Example, snowflakes swirled around Gerda as she entered the palace. Alternative, spun. Number 25, hollowed, meaning made empty inside. Example, the Snow Queen's halls were hollowed by cold silence. Alternative, emptied, ambushed, attacked suddenly and unexpectedly. Example, the robbers ambushed Gerda's golden carriage. Alternative, attacked, captured, taken as a prisoner. Example, Gerda was captured by the robbers. Alternative, caught, fierce, showing strong and violent energy. Example, the robber girl looked fierce as a hawk. Alternative, wild, whispered, spoke very softly. Example, the doves whispered to Gerda about Kai. Alternative, murmured wisdom, deep knowledge gained from experience. Example, the Finn woman's wisdom guided Gerda. Alternative, knowledge. Innocence, purity, being without guilt. Example, Gerda's innocence was her strongest weapon. Alternative, purity, weapons, tools used for fighting. Example, the woman told Gerda that love and innocence were her weapons. Alternative, tools, fortress, a very strong and safe building. Example, Kai was trapped inside the Snow Queen's icy fortress. Alternative, stronghold, glittering, shining brightly with reflected light. Example, the Snow Queen's palace was glittering like diamonds. Alternative, shining hollow, empty inside. Example, the palace looked grand, but felt hollow and cold. Alternative, empty. And that's the end of today's shadowing practice. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and want to suggest another story you'd like to shadow, feel free to leave a comment below. Your ideas are always welcome, and I'd love to include them in future videos. Until next time, keep practicing, keep improving, and keep shining with your English.